Hi guys, here again in my kitchen. It's quite late actually. It's nearly 11 o'clock at night, and the boys are in the room playing on the Wii because it's Saturday and they're allowed to stay up on a Saturday, which is alright, I suppose. I'm here in my pyjamas. Ta-da! I like my pyjamas. And Beauty and the Beast is on the telly. Look, let me show you. I like Beauty and the Beast. I like putting films on when I'm in the kitchen by myself. It's quite fun. But yes, I'm making jam. We went raspberry picking the other day. 2 hours we spent raspberry picking, which was great fun. But Greg had this. Greg got given some advice that he's supposed to rinse them in salt water overnight, and they literally turned to just disintegrated in the water, and it was awful. So 2 hours wasted, and a bucket load of raspberries got wasted, which was just awful. So especially because raspberries are so nice and so good for you. Even you know, we don't eat much sugar, very few berries, but the raspberries were welcomed, and we worked hard to pick them as well. Got a lot of Nels. So I sent him back out yesterday with Morgan, and they got me some. But again, he's washed them and they've turned to mush, so we can't eat them. We're gonna have to make something with them, and jam seemed like a good option. Let me show you them. There you go. They don't look great, but hopefully they'll make a sweet jam. I went online, my friend gave me a recipe, so I'm going to give it a go. I've never done it before. I don't enjoy cooking, I don't enjoy baking. I'm not great at most things, but I'll give it a go once. Wish me luck. Right guys, let me show you. This is the book that I use. It's a journal that I use for Carter, and I write down everything. Every day I write his details in about what insulin is on, how much he takes, how much he requires for glucose and pre-bolusing, which is changed at the minute because we've just got this regular insulin. Let me show you. Here we go. Lovely, regular. But every day I write down his blood sugars at breakfast, how much he takes, his blood sugars hourly throughout the day. I don't feed a prick, I only feed a prick before meals and after meals, or if the night scout or the Dexcom doesn't seem to be doing very well. So sometimes I'll put him on 12 finger pricks for a while, and if I find that it's running well, I'll just do him before and after meals. So in the back of this book, this is the important part, I write down everything. So all the foods that we eat, all the meats, I write down the protein and the fat content per 100 grams in weight, so I know when I'm weighing out his food exactly what carb, protein and fat is in the food. Look, so here and here for veggies, and here for salads, and here for berries, and maybe a slight bit of fruit that we might eat. We haven't actually yet, but I noticed that melon and peaches were the pretty much same carbs as strawberries, so I decided that I'd put them on, and if I ever see them anywhere I might pick them up. I might not, but I might do. So strawberry jam is the jam recipe that I was given, and I was looking at the nutritional content, which is here. It says it makes 20 tablespoons of jam. In total, each tablespoon comes out 10 calories, 0.5 grams of fat, 0.6 grams of net carbs, and 0.4 grams of protein. And I wanted to try and work out if making it with raspberries would make much difference, and it will. As you can see, raspberries are 12 grams instead of 8 grams, so I need to account for that difference, which I will do when I make it up. I'll work out how much I've made, and then I'll divide it all up and work out how much protein and carbohydrates are in per tablespoon, and then Carter will just have a couple of tablespoons at a time with either pancakes or waffles, or just on their own with some cream. So that's how we'll eat it. Carter doesn't eat low carb bread or any bread that I make for him because he doesn't particularly like it, and that's good for me because, you know, bread's the devil and all that. So let's look. Oh, nuts, look, nuts on this page, and a little bit of ketchup that we buy from time to time. So this book is very handy. And this, while we're talking about books, this book is a good book that I started doing for the family. Decorated it a little bit, look. It's good fun. And what I did is I started writing down, when I first started doing low carb, I started writing down any recipes that I found that I'd used. If I used them and we liked them, they went in this book. It's sort of fizzled out a little bit because I don't have much time. But you know, the titles are in, so I know to come back at some point and fill these in when I've got time. So if the jam is good and nice and successful, it will make it into this book. Further on in this book is lunches. Here we are, some ideas for lunches, what we eat. Food stew, chorizo, tray of veggies, cream cheese, chicken, shrimp, salted spinach, and then later on we've got desserts, treats and bacon, so it'll probably go in there. Morgan's walnut, new written in, cheesecake loaf, flapjack, see, they're all in there, but we I haven't filled it in because I just had time to finish them and I've just not been bothered. A lot of my recipes are printed out up there on that shelf. As you can see, there's all that paperwork on top of them. The odd few recipe books that I kept, they will end up in here at some point. So they're the books, they're the two books that I use more than anything now. Which is ironic since in the past I've spent an absolute fortune on cookbooks. I'm literally giving them all away. I kept Jamie Oliver's and Nigel Lawson's simply because I like how they talk about growing their own food and preparing things from scratch rather than buying it. And that's literally the only reason I kept it, for the knowledge of the food rather than the recipes, because there's not much in them, to be fair, that we can eat now. So we get our recipes online. Right, back to this jam then. I'm going to get my ingredients out for the jam. I've got my little jars here that are sterile. I've got my xylitol. I use this one. It was on offer in Tesco's today, so my husband picked up quite a few. And we filled the jar up because you'll remember when I made the cookies yesterday we had none left. I've got the raspberries, I've got a pan, clean cooker, and I've got some water in the kettle, so I'll get it all set up. And oh, I need my scales, don't I? So I'll get my scales out and then I'll come back to you and let you know how it's going. Okay, bye guys. I've just worked out the measurements for the weights and whatnot for the raspberries. So we have just over a pound of raspberries, 1 pound 1 ounce, and it's 8 ounces per pound. So we've got it's pretty much double this recipe that I pulled off that my friend gave me. I like this recipe because it's simple. There's literally 4 ingredients compared to adding in xanthan gum to thicken things up and citric acid to use as a preservative, because you're not using real sugar, which is the preservative that they use in jam. I was a little bit worried, but this looks simple enough to follow. One ingredient that we had to buy today that I forgot to mention is chia seeds. Here we go. Chia seeds. So there they are, so I'll use a few tablespoons of them. The recipe calls for 2 tablespoons, but that's obviously because it's only 8 ounces of strawberries. So I will use 4 tablespoons of chia seeds. Double up the water. Use a full cup of xylitol, I think. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I'm a bit of a wing it and hope for the best. So that's pretty much what I'm going to do, and I'll report back in a bit. Okay, bye. Guys, my raspberries are on the boil, on the heat, however, very low heat, can't even really see the heat. So here they are, as the recipe calls for. They are only just starting to warm through, so I need to grind down this xylitol now. I didn't realise I had to do that. I've only just read the ingredients and it's a good, the directions, and it's a good job that I did, because I'm good at following directions properly and then ruining things. So I'm going to use a cup. I'll try doing this one under. Great fun. I'm going to use 1 cup, just under a cup of xylitol, and it says I've got to grind it down. Probably powdered swerve would be better for this, but I don't order it anymore because it's so expensive. It's £15 for a little bag, which is like £3 in Tesco's, and then you've got postage to pay for it, because obviously nothing ships to the UK for free or is available in the UK as standalone, so we have to compromise or struggle or whatever you want to say. I think that'll do. So I'm going to put that into my Eva. I'm probably going to have to do that the other way with a spoon as well, which is going to be fun. Dun, dun, dun. I'm just going to put these raspberries that are sticking to the bottom of the pan. No, they're not. Go back to grinding this. Dun, dun, dun. I'm glad that I don't have to grind up the chia seeds. Okay, I think that's enough in Eva this time. Her lid on, she's on. What does it say? Grind your apple and spice grind until powdered, add the strawberries and mix together. It doesn't say when to add the water, so I think as soon as I add the sugar or the sweetener, I'm going to add the water as well. Okay, here we go. Wish me luck. Technically, what I should have just made now is icing sugar, and it looks like I have. Bloody hell, didn't know that was possible. But yeah, wicked. So let me just hit this pan one-handed off the heat, stick it onto my scales that are heat proof, and yeah, it's still not close enough for Eva. Unplug Eva and pour in this icing sugar. Get it in. I didn't know you could do that. I'm quite chuffed. And then I'll go for round 2. I might just try and see if I can pour the rest of this in. Oh yeah, get in. We're cooking, guys. Learning as we go. Right, let's go again. Come on, Eva. Awesome. So, we need swerve. You can keep your swerve. We just need our Eva, or a decent coffee grinder, some £3 xylitol from Tesco, and we're off. UK for the win. Right, that'll do. So all those powdered xylitol's now in the pan. Let me just check. Got a little bit left there. Stuck. Huh, nice and sugar. It's fantastic. Eva is definitely a brilliant investment. I got her from Lidl for a tenner, and just thought, let's take her a tenner. There's no way I'm even going to worry if I have to throw it in the bin, and to be fair, I haven't. It's been a godsend. I use it for the sunflower seeds, to grind them up into flour, and obviously now I've just realised that I can make my own. I'll use the water from the fridge. It's full tip. I can grind the sunflower seeds down, and now I can make icing sugar as well, so winner winner. Right, the water goes in there. Let's just check my ingredients again. Okay, so I don't add the water yet. I wait for it to thicken, and then I add the chia seeds and the water a little bit later. So let's mix all this in. I told you I'm crap. I'm crap at following directions as well. Bit cooking wise, I just don't read them, and what I think makes sense in my head isn't what the person put down on paper. So right, we need to like thicken up a bit. I think I might crank the heat up as well. Watch me fry it, and it'll stick to the bottom in a amount of seconds. I'm good at ruining things. Okay, I'll give this a bit of time, and then I'll let you come back and see when we add in the chia seeds. Okay, bye. Guys, my jam, can't stay there. Catty just come in. My jam is doing alright, it's just getting to the part where it's starting to thicken up a little. I don't know if I'm going to have to add the water, it says to add with the chia seeds though, because maybe the strawberries are thicker and the raspberries are quite runny. I was going to add more xylitol, but Carter's tasted it, and what did you think?
I think it's really nice.
Really nice. And what are you eating?
Okay, 100%. If you look up, just come here. Please.
Okay, they're coming.
Kids always first like the nice cookies that taste nice, like that taste like carb, and these actually really do taste like carb, but they're low gram. I'm moving them.
And you had your friend sleep over last night, didn't you, Taylor? And you had a muffin with bacon and eggs for breakfast.
Oh, gorgeous, and he loved it.
And he loved it.
If I like that.
It wasn't. And you're currently chowing down on a cookie. And what impact did it have on your blood sugars?
Nothing.
0. Pretty much 0.
So I met these 3 kids. If we have that video up.
I put a video up.
Good.
See, I'm quite lucky. I'm not the best baker in the world and I don't enjoy it, but it's worthwhile when you're type 1 diabetic. Can eat a cookie without having to test his blood sugars, take a shot of insulin, and then worry about his, you know, carb counting and getting the insulin right and blood sugar spiking afterwards. And
Doing it slider.
you can just eat the cookie. Yum. And then go back to play on the Wii with his brother. See you later, dude. Bye. So, as I was saying about this jam, it's not really thickening up and it says it should do. Let's go back to the ingredients for a sec. So it says, cut the strawberries into cubes, obviously we did it with raspberries, place pan over medium heat, done that. Grind your erythritol and spice grinder until powdered, add strawberries and mix together, done that. Once the strawberries, or raspberries in our case, have released their juice, it's about 10 minutes, mash the strawberries in the pan. Well, they were already pretty mushy, so we didn't need to do that bit. Allow the mixture to boil for about 5 to 8 minutes. They have done until slightly thickened. They aren't thickening as much as I thought they would. Therefore, when I add the chia seeds, I don't think I'm going to add the water. I'm just going to let it do its own thing. And then if it's too thick, I can add the water after. I've always got in the back of my mind that things are going to come out completely wrong, and because you've got a family, and I've got a very picky husband, a family who's used to, you know, spending the last 40 years eating jams and breads and butters and crackers and goodness knows what else, which is nothing wrong with that. But obviously now things are different. I've got him to account to try and please, which is not always successful. However, this little dude is pretty easy
I just come back in.
to accompany.
I just come back in.
To accommodate. So I'm going to add the chia seeds in. In fact, Carter can help me. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm happy to help. My brother's just finished. I'm playing Super Mario Maker with him. We're making a course.
Open up this bag.
I'll do it.
No, you don't need any scissors because I've cut the top off, so you just need to find the gap. Right, and what you're going to do is you're going to... No. Put it down. Put it down. Put the bag down. Just hold it with one hand so it doesn't knock it over. You're going to get a spoon. One spoon. One level spoon. One level spoon. Knock a bit off because you're going to get all over the floor if not. Knock a bit off in the bag, dude.
I'll clean it. I'll clean
Cooking with Carter, so much fun. Right, so we're going to do 4 of those. That's 1. That's 1. Come on, I want 3 more. Carter! No. Do this first and then we can clean up. It's great. Carter makes as much mess as his mother. Come on, need to be quicker. No, let me help because it's not too easy, is it?
No, not at all. Right. Especially I spilled a lot
of it. Let's do it this way so people have to get put down.
Oh God.
Right, sorry about that. We had a little incident with the chia seeds and Carter knocked them on the floor. But they're now in the mixture, the ones that obviously didn't go on the floor. And it's not thickening up as much as I thought it would, so I don't think I'm going to add the water. Carter, did you clean up those chia seeds?
Yeah.
And what did you do?
I put them in the bin.
No, you didn't. You swept them onto the
floor.
So what's the mama got to do now?
Clean them.
Thank you. So yeah, we're going to have to sweep them up in a bit. But this is how the jam's looking. I really don't think it needs that water added into it. I think maybe if it was strawberries or cherries or something that's not as easily mushed, then it might. But I'm just going to scrape off those chia seeds from my spoon as well. And give it a few more minutes to cook. It says to give it another 2 minutes, so it's at about 40 seconds while I've been talking to you guys. Give it a little bit longer and then I can let it cool for 10 minutes and hopefully we will have nice jam. I really don't think it needs any water added to it. I'm not good with stuff like this. But I think if I add water to this I'm just going to have a runny mess of mush that no one's going to eat and it's just going to be a slop dosh. And then again I've wasted another round of foraging raspberries, which I don't want to do because the raspberries are so nice, and obviously other people could have picked those raspberries because they're not bushes out of our garden, they're bushes in a public area, so I kind of feel like we're cheating other people out of them if we keep going and taking them and then chuck them in the bin because we're incompetent. So 10 seconds left and then it can come off the heat, and we'll let it cool. I'll come back to you once it's cooled. The jam is done. Hooray! It had the extra 2 minutes. I did put a little bit of water in, not much, just a quarter cup, so hopefully it will thicken up and not just continue to be slop. But if it is slop, then I made a fruit puree instead. So I need to cool it now, so it needs to cool for 10 minutes. So here we go, onto the cooler. Or the drainer if you like, and I'm going to leave it for 20 minutes actually, because it's quite hot in the house tonight. I'm kind of wipe them down, clean up the side, cactus chia seeds that he chucked everywhere, and put the kettle on. Fingers crossed it turns out alright. I'll come back to you and show you in about 20 minutes or so when I'm ready to put it into the little jars that I sterilised earlier, and wish me luck. Okay, bye. Okay, the jam has had just over 20 minutes to cool and it's thickened up lovely. And I think it's going to continue to thicken up as it cools as well, so I'm going to put it into the little jars now, and whatever's left I'm going to put it in a tub and I'm going to freeze it. I don't know if you can, but I'm going to give it a go because it'll go to waste if not. But Morgan's tasted it, Greg's tasted it and Carter's tasted it, and they think it's alright, so hopefully it'll go down well. It tastes really nice actually, so let's go and put it into the jars. I don't know the oven because the pan's still hot. I don't want to put a hole on my side. Right, let's go. So the jar's here, and that's stand you up there. Move this to the side. Let me see what you can see. Not got a very good view. Move that to there. Can you see it now? Yep. Okay. Right. Fill it up. Got a decent sized spoon. Back to you. I think it's a little blue spoon again. I like it. I'm just going to dollop it in. I don't know if there's a right or wrong way of doing this. I've never done it before. Maybe a funnel or something. It'd be easier, but you work with what you've got, don't you? Hopefully, if this works out. Last week we went cherry picking and Greg went and got up to the top of the tree, as far up as he could get, and got some really lovely sweet cherries. So what I might do is, if this works out well, I might make some cherry jam as well, because I've got 4 tubs of cherries. This what I'm using here for the raspberries is all we got. So the cherries, that I've got 2 tubs in the freezer and 2 tubs in the fridge. I could easily use one of them tubs to make a boatload of jam, if this works. So that one's full. There isn't that much left. I don't think I'm going to waste that next jar on just this little bit. I might just put it into a little tub instead. Ooh, I'm just looking that bit off my finger. It's yummy. I'm not going to seal the jar straight away. Leave it to cool a little bit. Put it over here, and we have literally got just a tiny bit left. So I'm just going to put it into a little dish and stick that in the fridge, and they can use that first. Maybe in the morning they'll have some with the breakfast. We will see. So this recipe is definitely worth trying. Thank you to one of my friends online that shared it, because I just didn't have a clue where to start, and I was expecting to have to use xanthan gum to thicken things up, and citric acid and whatnot as a preservative, and I haven't. It's just been easy. 4 ingredients, literally like 20 minutes, although obviously it's took longer because I've had the kids in and out and I've been recording it for you. It's just so easy, you should give it a go. It was designed for strawberries, but I've used raspberries and it's worked absolutely fine. So this will make it into the book, and hopefully tomorrow the kids will enjoy it for the breakfast. Okay, bye. Right, final thing I wanted to share with you was the carbohydrate content that I was going to work out and I didn't share. So what I did to work it out is I knew that there's 12 grams of carbs per 100 grams of raspberries, and there was 500 grams of raspberries in 1 pound 1 ounce, I think. So I times 12 by 5 and it gave me 60 grams, so in total in those two there's 60 grams. So there's 40 grams of carbs in this pot, 20 grams of carbs because there's exactly half of that, and there's around 20 tablespoons in here and maybe 10 in here, but what I will do for the first few times I give it Carter, I will weigh it to make sure that it's getting a measured amount, and then obviously I'll be able to eyeball it at 1 tablespoon afterwards once I know. But I'm tipping it's going to be around 2 grams carbs per tablespoon, maybe 3. But like I said, for the first couple of times I will lay his meal out, put the plate onto the scales, reset the scales to 0, and then put the jam on top, so I get an exact measurement of what the jam is, and then I can work it out exactly. And once I've done that a couple of days and wrote it in his journal, I can see how it behaves in his system, and I get an exact, repetition and whatnot. It makes perfection, well, as perfect as type 1 diabetes management can be. So that's how I've worked it out, and that's what works for us. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but it seems to work, and fingers crossed they will enjoy a bit of jam. Going from yesterday's video, I'll just show you really quickly. In my fridge I made the cheesecake bars, didn't I? And I was a bit worried about them and they didn't look like they should. However, the kids ate some today, Greg and the kids ate some today, and they absolutely loved it. I gave Carter half a unit of rapid insulin, which I didn't need to because the iPod. So he just didn't need insulin for it, or maybe he did, but he could have done with regular instead, something a bit slower. It was 2.7. The rapid acting insulin works so quickly in him, it just chucked him through the floor, and he didn't need to. Maybe it was the fat content that delayed things, but yes, in future he will take regular insulin for that. And the cookies, as you saw earlier in the video, Kat didn't need any insulin for them at all. We're quite lucky. He gets away with quite a lot, and if he's still honeymooning, or it's just the fact that I'd break down the recipes as good as I can and make them smaller but still so it feels like he's getting a treat, because I find it difficult giving a child a treat but then the child has to make themselves bleed, take an injection in order to get the treat. It just defeats the object of having a treat to me. So I make things as much as I can so that he doesn't need, to take insulin for them. So sometimes he does, and there's nothing you can do about that, but most of the time he doesn't need to take insulin for the treats that I make, and as you know from earlier, he really enjoys them. He's had 2 muffins today and 1 cookie, so yum yum, jam for breakfast. Okay guys, have a good night, I'll see you soon, bye.